Hello. Well, the QuickTime didn't work that well, and it came out upside down. What can I say? I'm still learning. Obviously, I'm not ready for Patreon yet, but this little one I did a bunch. I started a bunch, so I'll show you a few. Here's one, first coat. Here's one. I don't know if you can see, but there's some stencil work there. And that one goes like that. This one has just a little bit of work on it, please. So these are underglazes, and there's one glaze, but yeah, there's for the black. I used Amico 02 opalescent. It's almost a bluey, greeny black on my tiles. Okay, so this is mostly underglazes, so to see what kind of effect you really have, that's more what it's like at this point. All right, so which is pretty nice. I think I'd like a little more pink up in here, so I'm just gonna, and these are those underglazes that I showed you how to work, and they're starting to get, and my palette is just a tile. So I'm just gonna warm up that color up there a little bit. My palette's getting so I'm just going to warm that color up a bit up there, and it's drying again, so and this back here is an opalescent turquoise, Amico opalescent turquoise, so that should look pretty nice in the end. And I'm just going to warm up just some of the color here, not too much of it. And then it'll go in for the first fire. There is some stencil work under here. It was on the video. I used this stencil. I put it under there, and just put underglaze on, let the underglaze dry before I started working on it. So, and I've also got a little low-far glaze over here, so I can pink this up just a little bit, heighten the pink in some places. Yeah, on her ears. And her forehead a little bit. And I'm just going to take a little turquoise and tone it down a bit. And just work a little turquoise in here into these shadows a little bit. Same on the lips. And I've got a trail line, and it's a combination of colors. It fires a dark sort of purpley brown, that one. So while I'm there, I'm just going to add a little more turquoise too, because I've got some pencil lines showing there, and of course that will fire away. So, and then I'm going to come back with some yellow right into it when it's wet. And just a little bit of that up in here. Maybe just a little bit of that showing through here. Pick it up on the pearl. Good. So all this is layering like a painter, right? So if you have a painting background, you can do this. If not, there's plenty of places, well, there's plenty of places to take painting lessons. But I tell you, to find a good painting teacher, in my old age, I might go back to teaching painting. When I can't lift the tiles anymore. Because I did teach painting for a while. And of course I started out as a painter. And as my eyes got worse, I switched to clay. But also the muse just wanted me to, I always liked sculpture. And I trained in it when I was in grad school, so in classical sculpture, so it wasn't a stretch. I had like one clay course with a Japanese potter, so that was good. And so next, I'm just going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to add one of my chunky glazes. So here it is. Here's a chunky glaze of mine. You will see it's in a paint tube because the painter in me wanted to see if I could make them for paint tubes because I like working, that way. And that way I know they're my chunky glazes, and you can see it looks like paint, it goes on like paint, it holds the brush stroke. And this is just pure white. So I'm just going to and this should be nice and three-dimensional. I have another white that is even more three-dimensional, some more. I call it my Crogley glaze. I don't think it's in tubes yet. Yeah, my Crogley glaze. Oh, but that's a yellow. Actually, that might look nice over here. Let's try that over here. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a mason stain in this one, so sort of a yellow ochre. That sort of looks nice there, that color. So I almost always fire more than once, so this is probably going to be fired again. But I just want some three-dimensionality in the back. And then into that dark of the hair, because I just laid in black to create a dark, but I'm going to go and add a crystal glaze in there. You can get a bunch of crystal glazes from Amico, and you can also make them. You could take a glaze like this, which is an Amico 020, and just drop some crystals in it, and Amico does sell crystals, as do several other companies. So back to my marshmallow. Here's when I was a painter, I used to just hold it in the tube of my hand when I wanted thick paint and go like this. So it's sort of fun to be back in that place. But I am fascinated by what I can do with glazes. You have to work really hard in oil painting to get the kind of depth of color that you can get so quickly with a glaze because, it's glass. It's glass. And you layer glass, you get all that wonderful stuff happening. So, yeah, I like that three-dimensionality here. And I know this one is Crogley, so that means it's going to be very cracky, too. And I wonder if I shouldn't come and just put a little bit of of repeat that remember I showed you about the so where is that stencil I showed you? I had it. I'm just wondering if I should try to put a little bit of that into this, into that. It's very easy to do. Where is my stencil brush? That's it big enough? Yeah. So I could just come with a little bit of color. Just pick up a little underglaze and go right into that. And plus it's chunky, so it should. There we go. Didn't work, did it? Let's try. A little more color on there. Let's try again. And then I can flatten out the pearl afterwards. How are we going to do this? Right there, I think. All right. Is that good? Yeah. Try again. All right, let's see how that looks. Ah, good. And I think I'd like to get just a little more right here. There we go. And if you need to clean it up, you can just take a tool and just find it. But I don't want it found. Actually, I tend to, and I'm just going to smooth that out. And I'm going to take a little bit of that black glaze I've been using and just deepen this edge. While I'm here. Yes, I am painting with a silicone. Yeah, see, you can. You can use a lot of different tools to, that's good. So if I leave that, it might spread out and give me a crazy eye, so I better take that off. All right, so what do we have? You want to see it spritzed? Well, if I do spritz it, I have to be a little careful, make sure it's flat, so it doesn't run on this. So make sure it's flat. It's not flat either. Let's see. I need a little less height. The pencil maybe can do it because my table is somewhat okay. So you can see the color that's happening. There we go. You begin to see what's happening. I'll show you. That's not bad. When it dries, I'm going to come back and soften it. Or I can soften it now. No, I'll soften it later. So where is that tool I was using? So now what? Actually, that's a pretty nice color, but I'm going to go ahead and put a crystal glaze in. So. This one goes dark blue with the yellowy brown crystals. So it's one of my go-to crystal glazes, but I might as well. So it's just going to look dark, but all these other values will still be there. So I'm going to go deep into the bottom, try to make sure I get some crystals in there. There you go. And I think I'll put it in her shirt too. And up in the hair on this side. And see what else we got. So here's one of the Amicos. Let me see which one this is. This is their moss green. So you could put some of that in there. but I'm not going to. I'm looking for something I have that's sort of light brown. I remember I put it in the salt shaker. See if I can find it. So if you put it in a fine salt shaker, because it comes, it can be fairly big, different sizes, and I don't like those really big ones. You can. There's a way to get them small. It's a pain in the butt, but I'm just going to add and I've got one on her cheek, so I'm going to remove that one because I don't think I want that on her cheek. I just got to find something to remove it. Maybe a wood brush. Yeah, there. So, pretty good. I'm not liking that, the way it's pulling the eye, so I might go over it with some more of the Crogley. I just want to heighten the red just a little bit. And you're like, why are you using a big brush? So I won't get nitpicky. You know, nitpicky doesn't work. I use a big brush, you won't get nitpicky. Is that a word? I don't know. I think so. All right, so I've got the crystal glaze on there. Where did I do it? Did I put it away? Nobody? And I was looking for this one particular crystal. Salt shaker. I don't know where it is. It's probably on my other one shaker because I was using it someplace else. So I'm just going to come back and soften what's in there. I don't like it right there. No, I don't like what happened. So there. So I'm softening it. Whew, I know one now. I've lost the pearl, haven't I? So let's come back and find the pearl. So the pearl would be nice and white, right? And which side is the highlight? This side. That's pretty nice. I knew there was something I didn't like. I lost the pearl. All right, so I think some of that texture is going to come through because I can see it. You probably can't, but I can see the texture there. While I'm here, I'm just going to bring this in a little closer to define that. And I like the somewhat turquoise line I've got there, so I'm going to go at it a little more. Yeah, like that. So maybe I'll do a little of that turquoise edge over here too. Now there's some things I can do to the eye. I can just, as I was lightening it up, I lost the, so I can just add the dark back in. Doesn't want to go. go. This is a low par glaze. Whoa! Actually, that's sort of nice. Okay, so I'm going to put the turquoise back in there if I can. So I'm lifting some of that glaze, and then I'm putting the underglaze in there. The secret to eyes is layer the color. Layer the color, make it pop. Okay, so I just need some white. So I make a raised white. I keep that for the eyes. Just makes them pop. The highlights, whatever the highlights are. Okay. You know, that dark there, I think is not a glaze. I think that's leftover pencil, so I actually have to make that thing dark or it'll be white. I just noticed it. That's the trouble laying in the pencil. All right, so I'm just gonna take some turquoise and go over that color. See that? I think that's pencil. And if I just leave it there, so I'm mixing turquoise and then to dull it down, I'll add a little red. And just yeah. Now this is a really dark blue in here, so I'm just gonna add some of the turquoise into that. Maybe help set off the ear a little bit. And I'm gonna add a little more warmth to the ear. It's in heavy shadow, so I'm keeping it pretty dark. But, and then, because this is going to be such a heavy dark bluey, I think I'll just, woohoo, don't get carried away. So just heighten some of the reds just a bit. Don't overdo it. A little goes a long way. And instead of the turquoise here, I think it might be fun to warm that up on that edge. And I've got one of my chunkies in red. Hardly any left here, but there's some. So I'll just come in. That's better. Brighten that up. And then that's going to go, that color there that looks gray is going to be a fairly intense blue, but I did put it over a dark, so a dark glaze, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I think I'm losing part of the ear there. You see it? I don't know if it's pencil or what, but I'm going to go ahead and find the ear again. Might have been hair coming down in front of it that I was doing it that way. Soften that edge. I think I'm good. I think that's good. I think that's what I got what I need here. Here. Okay. All right, one last spray so we can see what it looks like. See what the values are. Not bad for a first fire. That's going in. Somebody asked for one in this size. What size is it? Let me go see. Eight by 8. It's porcelain. It's on porcelain tile. Alrighty. So that one's going in the kiln before I mess with it even more, because I will. I will keep on messing with it because I don't know when to stop. Because when I'm looking over here, I think this pearl should be bigger. And that dark's a little strong. There you go. All right. Okay, it's going in. Bye-bye.